Adam's body was discovered in the Thames on September 21, 2001. The limbs and head of the young boy had been expertly removed from his torso. Police were unable to match him to any missing children's descriptions, and no one came forward to claim their son, brother, or family member. Adam is the name given to him by the London Metropolitan Police. His true identity is unknown. Adam was a young child, around 5 years old, whose torso was discovered in London's River Thames. Despite the horrific nature of the crime and numerous police appeals, no parents or family members have come forward to claim the boy. In 2021, police are appealing to the public for assistance in bringing Adam peace and justice. Adam had been poisoned, his throat slit, and his blood drained, according to a post-mortem examination. Pollen samples in his gut revealed that he had only been in the southeast of England for a few days or weeks before his death. Pathologists discovered a strange mixture of African river clay, vegetation, ground bone, and traces of gold and quartz inside his stomach. The presence of ash in the mixture demonstrated that it had been burned prior to Adam being forced to consume it. Scientists later discovered that Adam was fed plants such as the doomsday or ordeal plant. This terrifying species is traditionally used in witchcraft rituals and causes paralysis but not pain relief. The plant, according to detectives, was force-fed to the boy before his throat was cut. Adam would have been paralyzed and helpless, but still aware of what was happening to him, a horrifying and heartbreaking outcome. Adam's bones revealed that he was born in Nigeria, near Benin City. The only clothing discovered was a pair of deep orange girls' shorts. The shorts were labeled as being of German origin. Because of Adam's Nigerian heritage and the post-mortem findings, police concluded that the boy had been brought to London to be used in a muti murder. This type of killing is not a sacrifice in and of itself, but is carried out to harvest body parts for witchcraft. Police issued an appeal for information across the UK and Europe, but no one responded. In 2002, British officials visited South Africa and met with Nelson Mandela. The Nobel laureate and former president agreed to assist. Nelson Mandela issued an appeal throughout Africa. This was broadcast across the continent and translated into a number of tribal languages, including Yoruba, the local language in the region where investigators believed Adam originated. The appeal was unsuccessful. Investigators worked with the South African Police Service to learn about muti murders and other ritualistic crimes. The information gathered here led police to believe Adam was related to his assailants, or at least to one of them. The shorts Adam was wearing were a deep orange color, which is associated with resurrection in that culture. It is believed that Adam wore this color in the hope that his soul would be reborn. Police also traveled throughout Nigeria, including to Adam's hometown. They contacted schools and villagers but were unable to locate the boy's family or any information about him. A woman was reported to Adam's case investigators in 2002. Social workers in Glasgow, Scotland, were concerned about the safety of two young girls. They lived with their mother, an African woman in her early 30s. Strange, ritualistic objects were discovered in her home by council workers. The woman, Joyce Osagid, told a story of cults, killings, and sacrifices during a court hearing to take the children into care. Investigators discovered that Joyce was born in the same city as Adam and that her daughters were dressed in the same German brand that Adam was. Officers were unable to charge Joyce because there was insufficient evidence. She remained in Glasgow while waiting for the outcome of her asylum application. Joyce's phone was seized as part of the investigation. It only had 2 contacts. One of them was called Kingsley. Kingsley was questioned by police, and his apartment was searched. Police discovered a concoction similar to the one discovered in Adam's stomach, as well as a video of a beheading labeled "Rituals." However, there was no evidence linking Kingsley to Adam's murder or proving that these belonged to him. For months, police had been watching Kingsley. He was discovered to be a member of a criminal network that brought hundreds of people to the UK to work in the sex trade, as domestic slaves, or to commit benefit fraud. Finally, in 2003, 21 men and women were arrested in 9 separate raids across London. Investigators charged Kingsley with people smuggling in 2004, and he served 4 years in prison. During his time in prison, Kingsley performed rituals for his fellow inmates. When Kingsley was released from prison in 2005, he offered to assist the police. He was allowed to remain in the UK and work as a police source. Over the years, he spread a lot of false information. Joyce was accused of Adam's murder by Kingsley, who claimed to have audio recordings of her confessing. Later, Kingsley accused another woman of Adam's murder, but police pursued her and found no evidence to support her claim. Nothing Kingsley told police was helpful, and he was eventually deported. In 2011, journalists tracked down Kingsley, who refused to comment. Joyce's asylum application was denied in 2003, and she was deported. Journalists tracked Joyce down in 2011 and discovered her living in a small house in a rundown neighborhood of Benin City. Joyce finally admitted to knowing Adam in an interview with the BBC. Joyce claimed to have looked after Adam in Germany before smuggled him into the UK. Joyce was seen with a young boy in Hamburg in 2001, according to an independent witness. Joyce revealed to the BBC film crew that Adam was actually 6 years old when she handed him over to a man known as Bawa. Joyce remembered Adam's real name was Patrick. Joyce went on to identify Bawa from a photograph. Bawa was Kingsley Ojo's code name. Joyce died not long after that. It's obvious that we'll never know what happened to Adam. The boy was most likely abducted by Nigerian child traffickers and smuggled into the UK via Hamburg as the intended victim of a Moody murder. Adam was most likely kept in Germany for a while, cared for by Joyce, who appears to have been involved in people smuggling. It is unknown who was involved in Adam's murder. It's unclear whether Joyce was involved. Kingsley Ojo is thought to be the last person to have seen Adam alive. The mysteries surrounding Adam's murder remain unsolved. Adam's body was laid to rest in an unmarked grave in a London cemetery in December 2006. Investigating officers were present, and service was rendered. Police are now asking the public to come forward with any new information that may be helpful. What are your thoughts on the Adams case? I really appreciate your input. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Be a part of the Chris Crime Diaries family and hit the subscribe button now.